Hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me for Marketing Monday. Today, we're going to talk about what mediators need to know about creating a website that really works for you, your clients, and our industry. It's really important. Everybody in our industry, all providers really do need to have a website. It's 2023. It's not an option anymore. Our clients expect us to have a website, and it makes your life so much easier if you have a good website. So today we want to go through just the hits, just the headlines of what makes a great website for neutrals. Before we do that, hope you've got your cup of coffee. It's Monday morning. We've got to start things off right. Today is a nice cup of coffee with some Italian cream. Also, you may have noticed that this is a different background than I normally have. Sitting outside on a terrace in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've got lots of wildlife around me, beautiful scenery. It's nice to be outside in the warm. All right. Good coffee. Okay. So let's talk about what mediators really need to know about creating a website that works. One of the important aspects of having a good website is recognizing that your website is the ambassador of your practice when people aren't speaking with you directly. That's an imperative. Your website needs to speak on your behalf. Additionally, we know just from math that 82% of our clients will search for us on Google. They Google us. It's called social proofing. And so if they've met you or if they're looking for you, one of the first things they do, I'm sure that you do it also, is go to Google and research, a mediator or an arbitrator. You've probably done it looking for a plumber, an electrician, a coffee house, etc. It's just what we do in the 21st century. So we want to make sure that we get that right. So the other thing that I want to mention before we go through this list of things that I think are really important is when you're building a website, keep in mind that the majority of your viewers will be looking at your website on a mobile device, on a smartphone. And so clarity and brevity, the cleanliness, the flow of your website is a really important thing to keep in mind. You want to make it easy for people to look at your site and look up your information, download your bio, resume, CV, etc. on a mobile device. Most design platforms like Squarespace, Wix, WordPress will have the ability to show you what your website is going to look like on a desktop, a laptop, a tablet, and a smartphone. And so when you're looking at your site, you should be able to, on all of those platforms, click through all of those different viewing options to verify that your site is coming up the way you want it to. So I think one of the most important things that we can do to make our site easier for our viewers is to have really clear, concise headlines on each page. There shouldn't be any question as people flip from tab to tab, page to page, what that content is going to provide them. And you want to get their attention. So as opposed to maybe saying something like my services, and that makes my site all about me, flip it around and title that page, how you can benefit, what I can do for you, how we can work together. Make it more client-centered if that's an option for you. Also, if you've got a tagline, fast, fair, friendly, whatever your tagline is, be sure that that's in there as well so that people get a sense of what that page is about, why should they read it, what's the benefit of looking at that information. We also know that as human beings, we make really quick decisions about whether or not we've landed in the right place on the internet. And you've got less than a second to verify that. So as people are scrolling through page after page, they read those pages really quickly. And if you haven't said the right headline, the right tagline, the right content, they're just going to click off. So you've got to be sure that that headline is right for them. So a headline, absolutely make it positive, give an action potential, make it a benefit page to the viewer. So this is somewhat more than just an online CV or an online brochure for you. What's in it for them? Why should they stay on your website? Next, you want to be sure that the graphics are correct, the images are correct, the colors are correct. Is this the right personality to put forward for your clients? It doesn't have to be anything over the top. We don't want flash. That used to be a thing. It's not anymore. You can use video, you can use hyperlinks, but you really want to make it visually attractive and also maybe a little bit on the more minimalistic side so that on mobile devices, it's easier to follow through. When you're putting together your images, I think it's always best to have an image that is kind of one side or the other. And one side is going to be what you look like at work. What does the process look like? It could be in a conference room, it could be on Zoom, but what does it look like when people work with you? The other side of ideology for images is what do your clients look like? What do the parties look like in your mediations or your arbitrations? What people are looking for in those images is some way to identify themselves somewhere in that process. So make sure that your images speak to your parties, speak to your clients. It should resonate with them. It also needs to be authentic to you, but it really should speak to them. If your website is nice and tidy and clean, and you've got a lot of text, a lot of narrative, make it easier for your viewers to go through that text by breaking it up, maybe in bullet points, putting it in bite-sized piece informationally. And then you want to make sure that your font is easy to read. We're all on screens all the time. And so if you use a font that is a serif font, and a serif font is the font that has the little tails between the letters, that allows our eyes to move more easily over the words. It creates a liaison so that it's not just the word in its entirety. It's easier to read the phrase, especially on an electric lit background. So think about the font that you use. You can use non-serif fonts, those big, beautiful, Arial fonts, Cardona fonts. You can use those for headlines or subheads, but keep the vast majority of the text, the heavy reading, the heavy lifting part of the information in a serifed font. For your images and your text, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. My go-to for this is Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Look at Canva to create those images, to create those little movies. You can add music, you can add graphics that move, you can have things popping up, you can put in chirons, you can do lots of great things on Canva. It's about $15 per month US. It is the cost of doing business. We spend more than that at Starbucks. So get your Canva account, upgrade to the pro level, and get some really good graphics for yourself. I think that one of the key things, again, always, regardless of the page, is what is the value to the viewer? What are they getting from visiting your site? If it's just an online brochure, that's fine. That means you have to do the heavy lifting in networking, writing, speaking, training, social media, etc. But if your website can have on each page something that speaks to that viewer, why should they be there? Why should they hire you? What's the benefit? What's the value? So keep that in mind all the time. Another question I get often about websites for neutrals is whether or not you should have testimonials. This is one of those things that I think you'll have to determine for yourself, your comfort level. If you decide to have testimonials, which I think are great, because what I would write for a client or what a client would say about themselves, that's marketing. What a client or a party in one of your rooms says about you, that's phenomenal, right? That carries a lot more weight than what you and I could write about your practice. So a testimonial is a very valuable thing to have if it's right for you, if it feels okay for you. If you're putting up testimonials, you've got a couple of options. One is to have attribution to the testimonial. Great. If you're giving an attribution to the testimonial, you want to be really careful, very cognizant that you don't get a bunch of testimonials only from plaintiff's side or the claimant's side versus defense or respondent side. So if you're going to give attribution to your testimonials, which is the stronger position to take, make sure that you've sort of got them one for one plaintiff, one defense, one plaintiff, one defense, one plaintiff, one defense. If you want to put up your testimonials anonymously, that makes it a lot easier. You can just quote the testimonial, close quote, and you can stack them up in any way you see fit. One of the things that I like to see on a website, as opposed to a single page that just has testimonial after testimonial, which is fine, put them there, but I like to see them sort of dripped in, scattered throughout. They're, the spice that makes the whole site a little bit tastier. So put them in. You can make pretty graphics. You can do lots of different things and use testimonials. But testimonials can be important, again, if it's appropriate for you and your practice and your clients. And then on all of these pages, it doesn't have to be on the page. It could be in the footer, it could be at the header, or you can use it in your narrative. But on every page, you do need to have that encouragement to reach out. It's a call to action. It doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be bossy. It doesn't have to be hard. It can simply be something, like click here to, fill out the form. Click here to contact me. Click here to learn more. Click here to schedule a mediation. So it doesn't have to be, way over the top, but it should be something that suggests reach out, let's connect, let's talk, let's book a mediation, let me help you, answer your questions, let's learn more on every page. And again, it can be static in the footer, static in the header, or you can put it throughout the narrative pages. These are sort of the top hits that every website needs. Of course, on yours, you can, get a little fancier. You can have your bio resume CV right on the page. You can have it in a downloadable form. You can have, interactive forms put on your site so that people can connect with you. You can put your electronic calendar, your online calendar link on your page so that people can schedule meetings with you. There's a lot that can be done with a website. You can put in QR codes for your LinkedIn account or your other social media accounts. You can make a great, very clean, very tidy, easy to navigate site. A lot of fun. Make it really pretty, and always, always make it valuable to the viewer. If you need any help with creating a site, I have a few designers that I really like to work with. I don't build them, but I do have people that I can refer to you. That's it for Marketing Monday today. I hope that you'll put some of these elements together, redesign or create a website for yourself. Hi, Rick. How are things in Austin? If you want more information, of course, go to my YouTube channel. You can search Marketing Resolution or my name and find a lot of other valuable videos on YouTube. There's a whole playlist of Marketing Monday videos, so I hope you'll go find those. And always, if you've got a topic that you'd like me to cover, put it in the comments. Absolutely let me know what your questions are, what your concerns are, and I will do the best I can to get a video out just for you. All right, that's it. Take good care and be good humans. Bye-bye.